Hi students. So we have already started and discussed the osteocytes in the previous video lecture, and in that part we have discussed about the basic general characteristic features of osteocytes, that is your bony fishes. तो पिछले क्लास में हमने अभी तक क्या डिस्कस कर लिया है osteocytes के बारे में, और osteocytes का मतलब क्या है bony fishes. तो हमने बोनी फिशेस के बारे में पढ़ लिया है और उनके मतलब हमने पढ़ा है व्हाट वी हैव स्टडीड द जनरल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स और द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द बोनी फिशेस एंड द कार्टिलेजिनस फिशेस. हमने ये थोड़ा बहुत जाना है, जैसे कि बोनी फिशेस में क्या होता है, इनका एंडोस्केलेटन बोनी होता है और एक्सोस्केलेटन जो है यहाँ पे डर्मल स्केल्स होता है, जस्ट लाइक द cartilaginous fish, but the difference is that they have three different types of scales. Then also we have discussed how many different types of scales are there in case of bony fishes. Then the status of their fins. Fins कैसा होता है, कितने पेयर का होता है, लगभग कार्टिलेजिनस के जैसे ही होता है, बस कॉर्डल फिन में सबसे ज़्यादा मेन डिफरेंस है. होमोसर्किल एंड हेटेरोसर्किल वो हमने डिस्कस किया. माउथ का क्या पोजीशन है, एंटीरियर है कि वेंट्रल है, वो डिस्कस किया है. और हमने क्या डिस्कस किया डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम का ओपनिंग क्या है, ठीक है, कॉमन ओपनिंग क्लोएका जैसा है कि नहीं, या क्लोएका है क्या या फिर अलग है. यहाँ पे हमने देखा कि उसमें जो बोनी फिशेस है उनमें क्या होता है, एनएस होता है, ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद हमने क्या बात किया, वी टॉक्ड अबाउट टीथ, स्क्रोल वाल्व, है ना, उसमें जो दांत होते हैं आपके फिशेस में उसमें कितना टाइप के होते हैं, हमें different types of the teeth or what is the pattern of the teeth they have, your homodont, polyphyodont, ectrodont, right. तो हमने बेसिक जो जनरल कैरेक्टर, देन आल्सो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम, okay, then air bladder is present or not, then what about the heart, structure of the heart, accessory part of the heart, तो ये सब हमने डिस्कस किया है, राइट. उसके बाद हैबिटेट क्या है, एयर ब्लडर का काम क्या है, what is the function of the air bladder, then these animals are excreting which type of what is the main nitrogenous waste they excrete, that also discussed, their body temperature, ठीक है. So we have already discussed and we have understood the basic the general characteristic feature in case of osteocytes, that is your bony fishes. तो हमने ये भी देखा कि बोनी फिशेस जो है वो फ्रेश वाटर में भी हो सकता है, आपका मरीन वाटर में भी हो सकता है. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि हमेशा मरीन वाटर में हो या समुद्र में मिले या ओशन में मिलेगा. दे कैन ऑल्सो अवेलेबल इन द फ्रेश वाटर एज वेल. लेकिन अगर हम बात करेंगे कॉर्निक थाइस की, तो उसमें हमने क्या देखा था, इन केस ऑफ कॉर्निक थाइस और इन केस ऑफ कार्टिलेजिनस फिश, द first of all, the endoskeleton is your cartilage. It is made up of cartilage. That is the main difference. And they are exclusively marine. This cartilaginous fish, they are exclusively marine. ये हमें सिर्फ समुद्र में ही मिलता है, ठीक है ना. लेकिन जो बोनी फिशेस है वो हमें दो जगह पे ही मिल सकता है, समुद्र में भी मिल सकता है और आपके फ्रेश वाटर में भी मिल सकता है. So today we'll continue and we'll discuss some of the examples of osteocytes, and then we'll go for the next phylum and we'll try to cover as much as we can. Now the first example is your rohu. So we're talking about the example in case of cartilaginous bony fishes. The first example is your rohu. The scientific name of the rohu is Labio rohita, and it is a freshwater fish which is edible. So I believe all of you have seen those people who actually are fond of fish, those who actually take fish. So they can see, they have this idea and they can understand what is rohu. Rohu is a freshwater fish which is edible, which is economically very important. All over the country, it is it is in very high demand. People used to consume it. So rohu is a very common freshwater fish which is coming under bony fishes, and they are edible and they're economically very, very important. So let us see the image also. So we'll see the image, but before that we'll let us discuss the Katla about the next examples also. Then we'll see both the images or photos together. Next is Katla. Katla's scientific name is Katla katla. It is also a freshwater fish which is edible, but in case the economic value, if you consider the economic value or the demand, then the economic value of Katla is more than the Rohu. Now you can see this is Rohu and this is Katla. This is Labio rohita and this is Katla katla. So these are the two different types of fishes. So we can a little bit zoom it. Yes. Now if you see here, you can understand. I have already discussed with you. See the position, the number of dorsal fin. Okay, then the number of pectoral fin, their position, right? But the difference, what we said, that in case of bony fish, the caudal fin, it will be actually having the lobe. You can see the lobe. This is one lobe. This is another lobe. This is one lobe. This is another lobe. So it is almost equal. The lobes are in size. They are almost equal or they are same. That's why they are called homocircle. So this is a characteristic feature of bony fishes. And you can see the scale on the skin. These are the Darboux scale. And most of the scale what we can see, that is ctenoid type. ठीक है ना. तो हमने तीन तरह के देखे थे, लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा हमें क्या मिलेगा, तीन तरह की जो है स्केल्स हमें बोनी फिशेस में दिखता है, जैसे गेनोइड, साइक्लॉइड, देन टिनॉइड, है ना. लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा क्या हमें मिलेगा, सबसे ज्यादा हमें मिलेगा टिनॉइड टाइप के स्केल. फाइन. नाउ नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल, एंगुला. Angula is what? Commonly we call angula as eel. आपने बहुत लोगों ने सुना होगा. You have already studied in the junior class, in the lower classes, so you know, and you have some idea about eel as well. Now angula is eel, and they are actually they have a special type of characteristic feature, that they are migratory fish. That means they migrate. But the important thing is that they migrate from which environment or habitat to which habitat. That is important. They migrate from fresh water to sea. तो ये कहाँ से कहाँ माइग्रेट करते हैं? फ्रेश वाटर से सी में माइग्रेट करते हैं. मतलब पहले वो रहते हैं फ्रेश वाटर में, फिर कहाँ चले जाते हैं? सी में चले जाते हैं. ठीक है. So they are actually migratory and they move from fresh water to sea. तो पहले फ्रेश वाटर में रहते हैं, उसके बाद वो कहाँ चले जाते हैं? They are going to sea. And such type of migration. अब देखिए यहाँ पे एक टर्म है that we need to understand, that is called catadromous. Catadromous मतलब the fishes actually they show some phenomena or the type of migration. It is actually a type of migration. If the fish is moving, or the animal or the particular organism is moving from fresh water to sea water, then that type of movement or that type of migration is called catadromous. Okay. Now why they are going to this going to ocean or the marine water? What is the purpose? क्यों जाते हैं वो भी जानना है. They go to ocean for egg laying. To purpose क्या है? Egg को मतलब to lay their eggs. They go actually or they migrate from fresh water to marine water. Okay. Now we'll see the diagram, then it will be more clear to you. So you can see this is real image of eel. So eel is like this. You may have sometime have confusion that these are very long and cylindrical tube-like structures. They have the bodies like that, and it is somewhat similar to snake as well. But if we study clearly, if you study it properly, then we can see the features what is not there in snake, but it is there in case of eel, and which is similar to fish, not with the snake. See, you can see they have fins. Snake, they do not have fins. Right? They have gills. Snake, they do not have gills. So maybe they appear in that way, but actually they are fish. So these are the eels which actually migrate during from the fresh water to marine water for the purpose of egg laying. Fine. Next is Hilsa. Hilsa is a very actually a famous fish in India especially, and also in part of Bangladesh we can find Hilsa. That in those areas it is very famous. Now the main difference between the Angula and the Hilsa is this: they also show, the Hilsa also show migration. They also show migration in their life cycle, in the lifetime. But the difference is they move from sea to fresh water. So it is opposite, उल्टा है. जैसे हमने रील में देखा कि वो कहां से कहां मूव करते हैं, they are moving from fresh water to the sea. क्लेमेंटीन में क्या है, हिल्सा के केस में क्या है, they are moving from marine water to fresh water. Why they are moving? They are also moving to lay their eggs. ठीक है. Now this type of migration is called anadromous migration. This type of migration is known as anadromous. ठीक है. Now Hilsa is very important, economically important fish in India and also in some part of the world, especially in the Asiatic region. Now why Hilsa is very important? It is we sometimes also compare with the European salmon. Salmon, which is very famous and very important and the most economically important fish in their country, in the European countries. The same way, Hilsa is also economically most important fish in India. Okay, so this fish is only available during the time of rainy season, and we can find it some restricted areas, restricted rivers of India where they actually migrate from the ocean. Example, like they will migrate to the river Hooghly. They also migrate to in the river Padma, some part of Brahmaputra, then also Rupnarayan, etc. So that's why Hilsa is very important. So if you see the diagram image, so this is Hilsa. This is the image of Hilsa, right? Fine. Now next example, Sardinella. Sardinella is the next example, or commonly we call it as, the Sardinella is commonly known as salmon, and it is very important, or we can say economically important marine fish. It is edible marine fishes. Okay. So this Sardinella, or commonly also we can call them as sardines, is a group of fish which is actually they are having very economic, they are actually having economic importance in India, and they are actually edible marine fishes, right? Now next we'll talk about hippocampus. Now hippocampus, they are also known as, commonly we call them as seahorse, and they are not edible, even though they are marine fishes, exclusively marine. We cannot find this hippocampus in fresh water, and they are not edible. They are not, we cannot keep in this category of edible fishes. They are not edible. Okay. And because they are having appearance just like horse, so that's why we call them as seahorse, right? Now there is a very peculiar or very interesting feature what we can see in case of this seahorse or this hippocampus. The fishes, in case of the hippocampus, the fishes, that is the male, have brood pouch. क्या रहता है मेल के पास? They have brood pouch. एक brood pouch होता है, जैसे कि आप मान लीजिए कि कंगारूस में जैसे एक पाउच होता है, बिल्कुल वैसे ही इनमें भी पाउच होता है, वो भी मेल के केस में, फीमेल के केस में नहीं, which is called brood pouch. अब होता क्या, इन दिस ब्रूड पाउच दे स्टोर द एग. तो मेल क्या करता है इनके केस में, मेल इज एक्चुअली स्टोरिंग द एग वेयर दैट इज अ स्पेशलाइज्ड स्ट्रक्चर दैट इज कॉल्ड ब्रूड पाउच देयर इटसेल्फ. और कब तक इसको स्टोर करते हैं? टिल द एग एक्चुअली हैच, एंड आफ्टर दैट even the young ones, after that even the egg hatch and the young ones are coming out, the male is actually take care of the young ones as well. So we can see the parental care we can see the parental care in case of hippocampus or seahorse, and that is here in this case, in case of seahorse, the male is actually involved in the parental care, not the female. So male is having the brood pouch where they are keeping the eggs until they keep the egg till it has, and also hatch until it after the hatch also the young ones are also taken care by the male only. So the parental care we can see in case of this fishes, that is your hippocampus. Next is Protopterus. Common name is African lungfish. This is very important. Protopterus or African lungfish we need to discuss. From the name itself we can understand, or you can see that African lung means they have lung or lung-like structure. Okay, so that's why we call them as African lungfish. तो इनमें lung या lung जैसा structure होते हैं, इसीलिए हम इसे बोलते हैं lungfish. ठीक है ना? So before we continue, let us go and check. So you can see the diagram. This is hippocampus, and before that you can see here these are the sardines. Sardines or sardinella ऐसा होता है. These are marine edible fishes. ऐसा दिखता है. These are sardines or sardinella. And this is your seahorse or hippocampus. तो ये बिल्कुल थोड़ा बहुत हॉर्स के जैसा इसका दिखता है अपीयरेंस शुरू में in this anterior part. So इसीलिए हमने इसका नाम क्या रख दिया सी हॉर्स, और इसका जो कॉमन नाम है सी हॉर्स है और टेक्निकल नाम क्या है हिप्पोकैम्पस. So here in this case, in this area, this male is having brood pouch. यहाँ पे brood pouch होता है इनका, where they can keep these eggs till they hatch, and even after the hatching, the young ones are also taken care by this male part of or the males of hippocampus. Fine. Now, Protopterus or African lungfish. This fish is show cannibalism. ये क्या दिखाते हैं? इनमें हमें क्या दिखता है? स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ फीचर्स क्या है? This show cannibalism. Cannibalism मतलब क्या है? Cannibalism मतलब the same animal if they eat their own species, if they consume their own species, then they call cannibal, or the phenomenon is called cannibalism. तो ये Protopterus जो है वो अपने ही स्पीसीज के जो ऑर्गेनिज्म है उसको कंज्यूम करते हैं. ठीक है. And they also, the Protopterus also considered as connecting link between bony fishes and amphibians. This is very important. तो Protopterus क्या है? It is considered as connecting link between bony fishes and amphibians. So that means connecting links क्या होता है हमने बहुत बार डिस्कस किया है. So we'll just continue now. So bony fish and amphibian के बीच में जो कनेक्टिंग लिंक मतलब हम मानते हैं कि कनेक्टिंग लिंक कौन है? Protopterus. क्यों? क्योंकि because they share the characteristic feature of both the groups. bony fishes के भी characteristic features है आपके Protopterus में, और amphibians के भी characteristic features है. तो क्या क्या characteristic feature है दोनों के बीच में वो हम देखेंगे. पहला क्या है? Scales है. bony fishes के characteristics क्या है? Scales होते हैं इनमें, और क्या है? It also have lateral line organs which are rheoreceptors. हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया था. Rheoreceptors क्या है? Which help them to maintain maintain their position when they're moving in groups. That's why they're not collide with each other during their movement if they're in huge in number as also. Next, presence of fins. तो fishes में fin होता है, bony fishes में fin होता है, तो fin भी होता है इनमें Protopterus में. Next, amphibian के जैसे क्या characters है? They have lungs for respiration. This is very interesting. Respiration के लिए इनके पास क्या होता है? इसीलिए इनको बोलते हैं lungfish या lungfish. ठीक है. तो respiration के लिए क्या होता है इनके पास? इनके पास lungs होता है. ठीक है. Now they also have internal nares. Nares क्या होता है? जैसे हम nostril जिसे कहते हैं. ठीक है. तो nostril के जो बाहर वाला पार्ट होता है उसे बोलते हैं external nair. और जो अंदर वाला पार्ट होता है उसे बोलते हैं इंटरनल नेयर्स। तो उनमें अभी जो प्रोटेक्टेरस है उनमें बाहर का जो या एक्सटर्नल जो नेयर्स है वो प्रॉपरली नहीं है, लेकिन इंटरनल नेयर्स प्रॉपरली है। सो दे हैव 3 चेम्बर्ड हार्ट। कितने हार्ट होते हैं इनमें? दे हैव 3 चेम्बर्ड हार्ट। ओके, नाउ the last example we'll discuss, that is your gambusia. Now the gambusia, this is the example of bony fish, and this is a very unique fish what we actually use as a biocontrol agent. Biocontrol agent मतलब काम क्या है इसका? We use basically this gambusia to feed to actually control the mosquito. Why? Because this gambusia actually they feed on mosquito larvae. So what we are doing, we are actually introducing this gambusia fish in most of the water bodies, and then what happens as a result, the larvae which are developing in those water bodies, the mosquito larvae which are developing in those water bodies, it is consumed by this gambusia fish. As a result, we can control the population of mosquito. Right? Fine. Now after this, before we move on to the next part of this next phylum, not phylum, the next class, that is Amphibia. So we should discuss about and we will have a small comparison between the bony fishes and cartilaginous fishes on the basis of the characters. On the basis of the different characters, we can compare. We'll compare the cartilaginous fish and bony fish. So it will be very easy for us to study and to remember. So let us discuss. So these are 3 columns you can see here on the screen. That is your characters, cartilaginous fish and bony fish. So we'll talk one by one. We'll take one character and we will discuss. First, habitat. Cartilaginous fishes are exclusively marine, but bony fishes are freshwater as well as marine. तो bony fishes क्या है, हमें फ्रेश वाटर में मिल सकता है और मराइन वाटर में मिल सकता है, लेकिन कार्टिलेजिनस फिश क्या है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ मराइन वाटर में ही मिलेगा, है ना। नेक्स्ट क्या है, एक्सोस्केलेटन। एक्सोस्केलेटन अगर हम देखेंगे तो जो आपके कार्टिलेजिनस फिश है तो उनमें हमें क्या मिलता है, प्लैकोइड स्केल। सिर्फ और सिर्फ हमें प्लैकोइड स्केल ही मिलेंगे, ओनली वन टाइप। लेकिन अगर हम बात करेंगे बोनी फिशेस की तो उसमें साइक्लॉइड, गेनॉइड, टिनॉइड, 3 तरह के हमें स्केल्स दिखते हैं, लेकिन उसमें सबसे ज्यादा कॉमन क्या है, दैट इज योर टिनॉइड। हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया था। So this table is going to help you to study the entire topic in a very easy manner, a simple manner. So I would suggest you to please make the table and study accordingly. Next is endoskeleton. This is very simple, nothing to discuss. Endoskeleton in case of cartilaginous fish, it is made of cartilage. In case of bony fishes, it is made up of bones. Now position of mouth. Mouth का position कैसा होता है, ध्यान से देखोगे, शार्क हमने देखा था, that is ventral इन पोजीशन, वेंट्रल होता है। लेकिन अगर हम बोनी फिशेस के देखेंगे तो इट इज एंटीरियर, बिल्कुल एंटीरियर पोर्शन होता है, पोजीशन होता है। डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम में जो ओपनिंग है वो कैसा होता है, कार्टिलेजिनस में कॉमन ओपनिंग होता है डाइजेशन के लिए, रिप्रोडक्टिव पाथ के लिए, एक्सक्रीशन के लिए, सब के लिए, ठीक है ना। डाइजेशन के बाद जो एलिमेंट्री कैनाल का जो ओपनिंग होता है तो अलग से कुछ ओपनिंग नहीं होता है इनके केस में, कार्टिलेजिनस के फिशेस के केस में। उनके लिए उनके केस में एक कॉमन क्लोएका होता है, फ्रॉम वेयर एक्सक्रीशन विल आल्सो हैपन, आल्सो रिप्रोडक्शन विल आल्सो हैपन। बट बोनी फिशेस में ऐसा नहीं है, बोनी फिशेस में अलग से एनस होता है, ठीक है। नाउ we need to discuss other points under the digestive system also, that is your scroll valve. scroll valve हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया कि कार्टिलेजिनस फिश में स्क्रॉल वाल्व नहीं होता है, लेकिन आपके बोनी फिशेस में स्क्रॉल वाल्व होता है। Now we'll talk about a respiratory system, and under that we'll discuss some points. The first point is this: number of gill slits. Number of gill slit जो होता है वो जो कार्टिलेजिनस फिश में वो 5 कितना होता है, 5 to 7 pairs of gill slits. बोनी फिशेस में कितना होता है, 4 pairs of gill slits, right? Now next is the gill slits are covered or not. But we know very well that in case of the cartilaginous fish, the gill slits are not covered. That is no cover. That is cover is not present. But in case of bony fishes, they have cover that is called operculum, which covers the gill slit. Next, एयर ब्लडर. एयर ब्लडर होता है बोनी फिशेस में, एयर ब्लडर होता है, कार्टिलेजिनस फिश में नहीं होता है. देन वेबरियन ऑसिकल्स. वेबरियन ऑसिकल्स वो किस में होता है? वो होता है आपके बोनी फिशेस में. वेबरियन ऑसिकल किस में होता है? बोनी फिशेस में. और कार्टिलेजिनस फिश में क्या होता है? नहीं होता है. ठीक है. Now this Weberian ossicle which is present in case of bony fishes, which it is connected with the which is connected with the ear. ठीक है. Next is excretion. Excretion मतलब what is the main nitrogenous waste they produce actually or they release. Cartilaginous fish में जो main nitrogenous waste है what they release that is urea. That's why they are called ureotelic, and it is in case of bony fishes it is ammonia. See, ammonia is actually, if you see the animals which are living in aquatic environment, they are mostly ammonotelic. Why? Because ammonia is very toxic substance. It's a very toxic substance, and for the elimination of 1 gram of ammonia, we may require almost 500 ml of water. So the animals who are living in the terrestrial regions, they cannot afford that huge amount of water to release the nitrogenous waste or to excrete the nitrogenous waste outside the body. So that's why it is only possible the organism who are living in water, that is the aquatic organism, and that is one of the reason that the most of the aquatic organism they are ammonotelic. But it is not true in case of cartilaginous fishes. Now, if we see if we talk about the brain, cerebellum, olfactory lobes, etc., so we can see these are all very large in case of cartilaginous fish, and these are small in case of bony fishes. Right. Next is caudal fin. Already we have discussed caudal fin in case of cartilaginous fish, that is your heterocercal, and that means the two lobes are unequal in size. So you can see in the diagram also. So these are heterocercal. You can see the lobes are unequal. Now in case of bony fishes, they are homocercal. That means two lobes are equal. So you can see the diagram. Both the lobes of caudal fin are similar. Right. Next is dorsal fin. Now if you see the dorsal fin in case of cartilaginous fish, we can see they have two dorsal fin, and the first dorsal fin is very big. ठीक है, बहुत बड़ा होता है. हमने बात किया था कि जब शार्क सरफेस पे तैरता है या फिर स्विम करता है, so this dorsal fin is very clear. It is very easily visible क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा होता है. लेकिन दूसरा जो सेकेंड dorsal fin है वो छोटा होता है. Bony fishes में क्या है? They have only one dorsal fin, and that is also small. It's not that big in size, just like in case of cartilaginous fish. It is not like that. Fine. So you can see the diagram of African lungfish. This is the African lungfish. ऐसा होता है. ठीक है. So this is the image of African lungfish. Then this is the image of Gambusia fish. ठीक है. यही जो fish है which we use to control, or which we use as biocontrol. That means we are controlling the mosquito population by introducing this Gambusia fish in water bodies. Right. Now we'll talk about amphibians. So the next class is amphibians. So by that, so we have discussed the osteichthyes or the bony fishes in detail, their examples also in detail. So now onwards we'll talk about amphibians. What are amphibians? Now amphibians are the next class what we're going to discuss. अगर हम नाम को देखेंगे एम्फीबियंस का मतलब होता है द एनिमल्स हु एक्चुअली कैन सर्वाइव बोथ इन वाटर एंड इन लैंड। तो अगर हम ऐसे बात करेंगे, अगर हम देखेंगे ध्यान से, तो आप मतलब और डिटेल में स्पेसिफिकली हम देखेंगे तो जो एम्फीबियंस है दे कैन लिव इन वाटर, दे कैन आल्सो लिव इन लैंड। बट एक चीज आपको सबको ध्यान देना होगा, समझना होगा, amphibians they're actually very fond of water actually, without water they cannot survive। इसीलिए आप अगर देखोगे कि amphibians जहां पे भी रहते हैं, okay they can survive in the land also but they will never go far away from the water body। so that is a very important and important characteristic which are amphibians। they will always live near to the water body, they will not go far away from the water body। हमेशा वो पानी जहां पे है उसके पास ही रहते हैं। और क्या डिफरेंस है, जो एम्फीबियंस है, this is not only satisfy the complete definition when we talk about the class that they live in, they can survive in water and land as well। the second important thing is that they reproduce, actually they reproduce, for their reproduction they need water, so this is very important। so that is one of the reasons that they cannot go away from the water, because they are completely dependent on water for their reproduction। so this is very important। so you can see on the screen that they can live on the water and land both, but some are terrestrial like toad and some are arboreal also। देखिए मैक्सिमम हम क्या देखेंगे एम्फीबियंस के केस में, दे मैक्सिमम एम्फीबियंस दे कैन लिव इन वाटर एंड लैंड इन बोथ दी पार्ट्स, in both the habitat, right? But we can also see some amphibians which are actually terrestrial, and example क्या हमारे पास toad है, and there are some amphibians which are arboreal। arboreal का मतलब क्या है, मैंने पहले भी डिस्कस किया है शायद। arboreal का मतलब those animals who live on trees, जैसे हमने ट्री फ्रॉग के बारे में अगर हम बात करेंगे, ट्री फ्रॉग। so animals which are living on trees they are considered, or they are known as arboreal। तो एम्फीबियंस के केस पे भी हमें क्या मिलेगा, डिफरेंट बहुत वैराइटीज है, ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ पानी और लैंड में ही मिलेगा, हमें एक्सक्लूसिवली टेरेस्ट्रियल जो एम्फीबियंस वो भी मिलते हैं, और हमें क्या मिलेंगे, अर्बोरियल टाइप के भी मिलेंगे। ठीक है, अच्छा डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम क्या होता है उसके बारे में बात करते हैं, केस ऑफ एम्फीबियंस। सो एम्फीबियंस आर बेसिकली कार्निवोरस, दे आर कार्निवोरस and their dentation is polyphyodont, acrodont and homodont। polyphyodont मतलब बार बार अगर उनके दांत झड़ जाते हैं तो फिर से दांत या फिर न्यू सेट ऑफ टीथ will be replaced, they will have multiple set of teeth। acrodont का मतलब हमने डिस्कस किया था, they are superficially attached, the teeth are superficially attached with the bone, jaw bone। next is homodont, homodont मतलब their teeth are equal in shape and size। ठीक है, next is tongue। tongue is very important characteristic feature we should discuss। देखिए अगर हम देखेंगे आपके एम्फीबियंस के केस में तो उनका जो टंग होता है so little bit बाइलिफ्टेड और बाई, अगर उसको अगर हम देखेंगे एंटीरियरली, so basically अगर हम देखेंगे एंटीरियरली they are actually attached, anteriorly they are attached inside their mouth with the jaw, that is your lower jaw, but posteriorly they are free। ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, ये आपको समझना पड़ेगा बहुत ध्यान से। ये मान लीजिए अपर जॉ है, ये लोअर जॉ है, जो टंग होता है वो सिर्फ एंटीरियरली कनेक्टेड होता है। हमारे केस में टंग कैसा है, पोस्टीरियरली कनेक्टेड है, एंटीरियरली फ्री है, ध्यान से देखिए। लेकिन इनके केस में क्या होगा, एंटीरियरली कनेक्टेड है, पोस्टीरियरली कनेक्टेड नहीं है, फ्री है और थोड़ा सा बाइलिफ्टेड है। ठीक है, थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे आप हल्का सा बाइफर्केशन इनके पोस्टीरियर पार्ट पे जो आपके लीफ है दो वो दिखेगा, सॉरी पोस्टीरियर पार्ट ऑफ द जो टंग है उसमें हमें दिखता है। तो ये वाला पार्ट जो ये फ्री है कंप्लीटली, सो दैट मींस इट कैन कंप्लीटली कम आउट। तो टंग क्या करता है, ये जो फ्रॉग है इसका जो टंग है ये पूरा बाहर आ सकता है, जो पोस्टीरियर पार्ट क्योंकि ये फ्री है, सो इट कैन कम आउट, सो दे कैन डार्ट द टंग आउट ऑफ देयर माउथ। सो इसीलिए अगर आपने कभी देखा होगा किसी वीडियो में एनिमल किंगडम या कहीं पे भी कि this amphibians what they do, they will actually take out or they will throw their tongue. Why? How can they do, how it is possible for them to do it? क्योंकि इनका जो पोस्टीरियर पार्ट टंग का जो होता है वो अटैच होता ही नहीं है, सिर्फ जो एंटीरियर पार्ट है वो ये वाला पार्ट अटैच होता है, तो इसको ये बाहर निकाल सकते हैं जब ये चाहते हैं. And this tongue is very very sticky. It is having a very thick mucus layer and it is very very sticky. ठीक है, तो ये क्या करते हैं ना, बेसिकली ये टंग को किस लिए कैसे यूज करते हैं, वो ये पोस्टीरियर साइड से क्योंकि फ्री है, सो दे विल डार्ट द टंग, तो ये बाहर फेंकते हैं टंग को. ठीक है, और टारगेट करते हैं किसको, द पर्टिकुलर इंसेक्ट. ठीक है, और क्या करेंगे, उसको पर्टिकुलर इंसेक्ट को टारगेट करेंगे तो क्या होगा, इंसेक्ट जब भी कांटेक्ट में आएगा इस टंग के, तो बिकॉज द टंग इज हैविंग वेरी स्टिकी सब्सटेंस और म्यूकस, the insect is getting attached with this tongue. ठीक है, इससे क्या होगा, then they will take it back, then they will take it back, the tongue they will take it back inside their mouth, and what they will do, they will engulf the insect completely. अब देखो टंग जो है, they don't chew because the teeth what they have that doesn't support chewing. ठीक है, so they cannot chew the food, so what they simply do, they use their tongue, they dart out their tongue, and and when the insect is attached, they will take it back and they will engulf the entire insect without chewing, so they cannot chew. Fine, so they cannot chew the insect, so that's why they engulf it completely. So this is the diagram of the mouth of the frog. So where this is, you have to consider it's an open mouth, completely open, and this is upper jaw, and this is the lower jaw, and this is the tongue, and this is the division you can see here. Now, the amphibians, they have the opening or the other end opening. See, the digestive system has opening, one opening that is the mouth, and the other opening in case of frog, it is cloaca. That means they have a common opening. That means they have a common opening for excretion and also for what? Also for reproduction. Right? Next is respiratory system. In case of young amphibians, the respiration is done by gills. ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. जो आपके यंग एम्फीबियंस होते हैं, they will have respiratory system and they will respire by using lungs. Okay, sorry, not young ones, the adult amphibians, they will use lungs for their respiration, but in case of young ones, example tadpoles, in case of frog, we can see that they use gills because they are aquatic. टैडपोल जो होता है लार्वा स्टेज होता है, इंटरमीडिएट स्टेज होता है फ्रॉग का, और वो पानी में रहता है, तो इसीलिए at that time or in that stage they use gills for the respiration. So we can see two different types of respiratory organ is used by this organism in two different types of their life cycle. So when they are very young, the tadpole, when they are tadpole or they survive as a larvae, so at that time they have what? They have gills. ठीक है, but in case of adult, what happens? What we can see, they have respiration which can be done by lungs, but there are some other options or other systems are also existing like skin, buccopharyngeal cavity and lungs. अब अगर बोलोगे सर फिर स्किन से भी कैसे होता है, we'll discuss it later on in detail when we talk about the respiratory system in detail. So let us discuss and understand a little bit about that. Skin मतलब क्या होता है ना, so the frog they are having moist skin, and the air can pass through or it can actually absorb by the skin, moist skin surfaces, and that is called cutaneous type of respiration. So cutaneous type of respiration can also be seen. Buccopharyngeal cavity, this is a cavity which is present just after the buccal cavity or in between the pharyngeal region, and that is also going to help for respiration in case of frog. So frog के पास adult stage में हमने क्या देखा, they have lot of option. First they have cutaneous type of respiration, then also they have buccopharyngeal type of respiration, and also they have lungs. Now in case of frog or amphibians, the skin is moist It is glandular. The glands are actually mucus gland, which actually see the skin is getting moist and maintain the moisture. It is by secretion of the mucus from the mucus gland, and it is also vascular. See, all of you know that for respiration, the respiratory organ, what is the criteria or the basic characteristic feature of a respiratory organ or respiratory membrane? That is, it should be thin, it should be moist, and it should be vascular. तो अगर respiration मतलब क्या है? Exchange of gas ultimately. So if it is not vascular, then how the exchange of gas will be takes place? Vascular का मतलब क्या होता है कि आपके maximum or the blood vessels. So the skin, under the skin, it is vascular, which help in exchange of gases. Now, तो फाइनली हमने क्या देखा कि जो आपके एम्फीबियंस है तो उनमें हमें कितने तरह के रेस्पिरेशन दिखते हैं? उनमें हमें 3 तरह के रेस्पिरेशन मिलेंगे. फर्स्ट किटेनियस टाइप, सेकंड ब्रांकियल, क्योंकि गिल्स यूज होता है तो ब्रांकियल टाइप भी बोल सकते हैं. लंग्स यूज होता है, लंग्स भी मिलता है शरीर में से पल्मोनरी. तो 3 तरह का जो आपका रेस्पिरेशन हमें मिलता है एम्फीबियंस केस में हमें दिखता है. पहला है क्यूटेनियस और क्यूटेनियस. दूसरा है ब्रांकियल, तीसरा है पल्मोनरी. नेक्स्ट इज सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम. Now the circulatory system in case of amphibians they have 3 chambered heart. अभी तो हम फिश पढ़ रहे थे तो हमने देखा कि फिश के केस में दो they are having 2 chambered heart. They have 1 auricle, 1 ventricle, and also they have accessory organs, accessory parts and accessory chambers, what we can say. And those accessory chambers were sinus venosus and conus arteriosus. Right. Now, in case of amphibians, they have 3 chambered heart, and this heart shows double circulation. Fish के केस में क्या था? They show single circulation, but in case of amphibians, they show double circulation. But it is incomplete. Double circulation तो दिखाता है क्योंकि इनमें double circulation होता भी है, लेकिन double circulation normally जब किसी एनिमल में हमें दिखता है जो complete होता है उसमें हम complete और incomplete बता सकते हैं, differentiate कर सकते हैं. कैसे? क्योंकि why we can call it as incomplete? Because it is the mixed blood which is supplied. मतलब जो आपके एम्फीबियन का जो हार्ट है उसमें 3 चेम्बर होते हैं और जो ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड है it is actually getting little bit mixed up with the deoxygenated blood. So finally the blood which is getting supplied towards the body, it is mixed blood. It is not oxygenated blood. So that's why we consider it as incomplete. ठीक है? So double circulation है लेकिन it is incomplete. Right? So the heart, its structure, amphibians heart structure, fish heart structure, we'll do a comparative study when we will discuss body fluids and circulation in the unit of human physiology. Okay, so you don't worry about that. We'll discuss in the chapter when the time will come. Fine. Now the heart of the amphibians actually it is atrovenous heart. Okay, it's a atrovenous heart. और accessory chambers क्या होते हैं? Sinus venosus, conus arteriosus, that are also present in amphibians. तो sinus venosus जो accessory जो आपके जो chambers है वो भी रहते हैं आपके amphibians के केस में, that is your sinus venosus and conus arteriosus. Fine. Next, exoskeleton is completely absent. इनके केस में exoskeleton बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता है. ठीक है? So amphibians के केस में exoskeleton is absent. और endoskeleton क्या होता है? It is made up of bone and skull. In the skull part they have condyle, and the skull is actually dicondylic. 2 condyles होते हैं, which is getting attached with the atlas, or which is getting fixed with the atlas for proper movement of the head part. ठीक है? तो वर्टिब्रल कॉलम में क्या होता है? इनके पास एटलस होता है, which is the first vertebrae, और जहां पे 2 कॉन्डाइल जो कि आपके स्कल में हमने बात किया था, जो स्कल इज अ डाइकॉन्डाइल which fits to provide proper movement of the head in case of amphibians. लेकिन यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है? The second vertebrae which is known as axis. in case of the human being, with the cervical vertebrae, the vertebral column is divided into different parts. The neck part is called cervical vertebrae, and the first bone what we have there is called atlas, second bone is called axis. तो फर्स्ट बोन तो होता है आपकी फ्रॉग में, लेकिन सेकंड बोन उनमें नहीं होता है, ठीक है। क्योंकि अब देखिए फ्रॉग के केस पे अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो फ्रॉग के केस में इनका जो नेक होता है दैट इज नॉट प्रेजेंट प्रॉपर्ली, नेक जो होता है वो एब्सेंट होता है, ठीक है। बट इन केस ऑफ अस, इन केस ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग एंड सम अदर एनिमल्स आल्सो, वी कैन सी द नेक इज देयर, ठीक है। सो इन केस ऑफ एम्फीबियंस द नेक इज एब्सेंट, दैट इज व्हाई the vertebrae is arranged differently. इसका मतलब क्या है कि उनकी नेक होता नहीं है, तो जो उनकी जो वर्टिब्रल कॉलम के जो आपके वर्टिब्रल पार्ट है, जो पार्ट है आपकी सर्वाइकल पार्ट है, वो भी अलग तरीके से अरेंज होता है, और उसके नाम भी हम अलग से हम उनका नाम भी हमने अलग से हमने दिया है, which is not important in this chapter, or which is not there in our syllabus also, so no need to discuss. बस हमें इतना जानना है कि उनका जो नेक पार्ट होता है, मतलब इन केस ऑफ एम्फीबियंस जो नेक पार्ट होता है वो एब्सेंट होता है, इसीलिए जो नेक पार्ट ऑफ द वर्टिब्रे है और वर्टिब्रल कॉलम का जो नेक पार्ट है वो भी अरेंज जो होता है वो अलग तरीके से होता है, ठीक है ना, और उसका नाम भी अलग होता है जो हमें ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं पढ़ना है। सो we'll discuss this much today, and in the next video lecture we'll continue with the class amphibians. So till then, take care. Thank you.